Bachelor in Paradise has just ended on a cliffhanger. We are live in Los Angeles, and tonight we're here to answer your burning questions about Claire's raccoon. Tinley's here to talk about her love square. Jonathan, he's going to explain how he got manipulated by Joe. And Ashley S., well, she's here. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm Chris Harrison. We're breaking it all down after Paradise. Guys, hey, Bachelor Nation, this show is all about you. We want to talk to you live on the air about your thoughts and your feelings, so call us toll-free tonight, 1-844-767-3825. That's 1-844-ROSE-TALK. That's a real thing. And it's also my own personal line. Talk to us live on the air. You can tweet us at Batch Paradise with the hashtag After Paradise, and we could use your tweets live on the air. And right now, you can also go to abc.com/AfterParadiseLive, and throughout the show, you can vote on our polls and make your voice heard. Joining me, making her voice heard every week with me, my co-host, superfan, New York Times bestselling author, Jenny Mullen. Wow. Good to have you here. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
We have a lot of things to discuss.
A lot of Joe drama. And please say hello to our first guest tonight, celebrity superfan from FXX's The League and ABC's Fresh Off the Boat, a proud member of Bachelor Nation,
yes,
Mr. Paul Scheer.
Hello.
So good to have you here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be in Bachelor Nation.
I've been a huge fan of yours for many years, so it's good to know that you love The Bachelor as much as we all love doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's jump right into this. We just finished with this cliffhanger where Claire is walking out of this rose ceremony. What do you make of that?
All right, your cliffhangers on this show are so good that I have considered, like, Googling you where your home address is, finding you, breaking in, and trying to find next week's tape. I mean, I want to know what's going to happen. I mean, Claire, is she going to leave? Is she going to stay?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, she kind of threw out this shot across the bow right before the rose ceremony, and then Jade kind of stood up to her, and then she walks out in a huff. Is this just a staged event by Claire?
Well, I don't know. I think, you know, what everybody loves when they're looking for a relationship, what all people, I think, really want is just drama, tears. They want somebody who, at the first sign of conflict, storms out of the room and, you know, makes a big deal.
Right, Paul, what are the guys that she's hopefully falling in love with are sitting there seeing this?
They're not going to give her a rose. That is not a way to get a rose. They're like, to cause a problem. Like, I'm going to cause the biggest
I lied to my
scene.
husband for a lot of years before I let him see the true me. I mean, he didn't know that I was as crazy as I am.
You saved that till Fantasy Suite, at least.
At least
come
till
on.
Fantasy Suite.
Keep that crazy behind closed doors.
Now, the thing that everybody in Bachelor Nation's dying to talk about, of course, it's Joe.
What happened with Joe?
Okay, first let's talk about what were your thoughts of him coming into Paradise? Did you have a good opinion of Joe?
No. Joe, last season, I mean, you guys, last season on Caitlyn's, first of all, the guy has, like, intermittent rage disorder. When she was breaking up with him, he, like, turned into a different Joe and went crazy on her.
Yeah, he is crazy. He's like Patrick Bateman from, like, American Psycho. I mean, like,
why, they're like, every guy thinks he's, like, the funniest guy ever. When was he funny?
He never was funny. I mean, he walked into this show like he was walking into a prison colony.
He was sketch.
Right. I was like,
he's sketch. You should not hang out with him.
Like, did you like kidnap him and bring him to the island?
I feel like this has become an intervention for me.
Chris, I don't want you talking to Joe again.
Thanks, Mom. I can do better.
You can do way better than Joe.
I need to work on my self-esteem. Yeah, no, it was interesting that everybody kind of thought he was going to be this charismatic, jovial, fun-loving guy.
Right.
And
he didn't even try.
Why?
He came in and he was like, he just sat down and was like,
yeah.
What's that?
Like,
it was like,
staking his territory in the prison yard.
Don't you want to say that over and over? Oh, give me that rose.
Give me that
that's
rose.
all I want to say
Well,
to
I know that
now.
Bachelor Nation is freaking out about Joe right now, but I want
Can
the
you tell?
I want the first-person account of what it was like when he walked in. So I want to bring Tinley on. Tinley, come out and join us.
Hi.
Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Tinley, everybody.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
All right, so Tinley, I know you're just standing right there, so you heard everything that the fans are saying. What made you all think that Joe was going to be this great charismatic gift to Paradise?
Yes, please enlighten us.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out because I was on my date with Joshua when he had come into Paradise. So when I get back from my date, like, there's this funny guy there, and I was rolling.
Stop. When was he funny?
Yeah.
Well, one joke
I guess
he told you.
He was just awkward. Maybe that's what it is.
Awkward. Was it awkward or funny?
it was so
Funny
awkward
awkward.
that it was funny. And I just was like, well, who's this character? And I missed a whole bunch of that from earlier in the evening, the whole like
Yeah.
just sitting and staring.
I thought like for sure there was gonna be a part of the show. It was like we made Joe pretend to be really awkward. That was his challenge tonight on Bachelor
Joe just, like,
Paradise.
If he was that good of an actor, he would be on the league.
Yeah,
Right?
We'd love to have him.
I think he might have been trying or not trying. I don't know because things just
Right.
changed.
Well, there was so much to talk about. You know, he was at the center of a lot of drama this week. Here's a look back at some of his nastier highlights.
This isn't your first rodeo, is it, Claire? It's like what, your second Paradise? Yeah. It's terrible.
It was very difficult for me not to really put my fist in Mikey's face. I'm not going to take off anybody.
Go take a protein shake, eat chicken. Hashtag Joe made him his bitch.
All right, that's probably going to be trending in just a little bit. All right, it's time for you at home to get involved tonight in this conversation, our first fan vote. So get on your devices and tell me what you think. Should a single mother be treated differently in the dating world? So, you know, he took advantage of Julia, obviously.
Yes.
So just text yes or no there.
They should be.
Because
For
okay, so
sure.
this is what I'll pose to you while everybody's voting. Would it be different if he had been doing this and abusing Ashley I or her
Yes,
sister
for
Lauren?
Sure. Or even, no offense, Tenley. I mean, hey.
Tenley, it's totally
she's
cool
a-
if you get
she-
abused by Joe.
No, Tenley, I feel like you can like hold your own, and you have other
think so.
options out there. But as she's a single mom, she's there. I do believe that she's there to find love.
But here's my argument, though, too. It is partly a game. So in the real world, yes, you have to be a little bit more aware of a single mom, but you got to get that rose.
But no, it's not Survivor. The only thing you win at the end is that other person.
But
it's
Paul,
not like
Tenley, to Paul's point, you are trying to stay alive for that next week. It's not a game per se, but it kind of is.
But he wants Sam, right? He wants her to come on the show. So he's.
Why Julia? You could do it to, I wouldn't care, Lauren, whoever. But
Right.
it's just like,
By the way,
I think
70
it's because she raised her hand, but she was so excited and hopeful for
well,
it.
two
homered
things.
in her.
First of
Okay.
all, we're locked. 75% say yes.
Yes.
And to your point, you're right. He didn't really even ask Julia out. She asked him out on his own date.
She basically ran both sides of that
No,
date.
no, but to her
Sad.
defense, like it was because he wasn't giving anybody anything. Like he was just
Yeah.
sitting there. I mean, I watched it. I wasn't in that moment, but she
That
raised her
raccoon
hand.
has more personality than
Than
Joe.
Joe.
He's a better listener,
Honestly.
and he's more attentive.
We're going to try
Yes.
something different this week. We'll see how this goes. We're going to take a phone call.
Ooh.
Is it from Joe?
No.
Oh,
All
to the
right,
phone.
caller, you with us?
Yes.
Who's with us?
Hi, it's Kara from Long Island.
Hey, Kara from Long. I couldn't tell. Love the accent. Who's your question for? What is it?
Hi, Chris. Well, first of all, I have to say I'm so excited to talk to you, Chris. This is my most dramatic phone call ever.
Ever. You've peaked.
I have a question for Tenley. Tenley, what do you think Julia saw in Joe after everyone else had such negative opinions of him and were giving those opinions to her?
Thanks, Laura.
that's great. Thanks, Laura. I actually saw what Julia saw and I was one of her best friends in Paradise, and I felt so blinded watching the show tonight, just like seeing how he was so deceiving and how he was so different, and the things that he said.
So you fell for it too.
I fell for it too. I
Interesting.
fell for it, and I
Well,
was
in all
tearing.
fairness, we do get to see a lot more of his comments on camera on TV
Right.
than you guys get to see.
And I guess I wasn't really associating, like I wasn't like hanging out with Joe in the sense of like, hey buddy, so give me your everything.
you
Was he
believe
All right,
he was
well-
really
The guys
into
do-
I
Julia?
did, because she was so excited. Oh, no. Actually, I remember going back. Like, I just remember thinking, she was saying, he's not really giving me as much
Right.
attention as I'd like. And I said,
But all
give
girls
it
say
some
that.
time. Right, exactly. And I was going there too. I was thinking, well, in this situation, like, how much are we supposed to be showing each other attention when you're still getting to know each other
But
and
he
you had
seemed
this
like
great
he was
date?
showing no
I got to call a
emotion.
quick timeout.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
More on Joe. Believe me, we have a lot more to talk about with Joe. You can tell. Paul's on the edge of his seat. I love this.
Get my Joe out.
Coming up, Jonathan, he's going to join us because talk about being manipulated. He's going to unload on Joe tonight, I am sure. Much more coming up on After Paradise. am Chris Harrison. I'm back with Jenny Mullen, my partner, Paul Scheer.
What am I to you? She's your partner. What am I?
I'm his partner.
I would like to
Don't
think
even
after
try.
tonight we're best friends.
All right, yeah, I'll take it.
I would like to think we're going to hang out, go on camp outs.
Let's do it.
Right,
Let's go glamping.
fishing.
Getting
Tinley's
some
here as
major
well.
FOMO. What am I?
All right. When we first met you, many years ago on Jake Pavelka's season, you apparently you hadn't kissed a boy since your marriage. Oh, how times have changed, Tinley. Take a look.
I'm really excited to get to Paradise.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jared.
I'm Tenley. I can't wait to meet some awesome guys. And hopefully they don't mind an older lady. Those sounds.
Tinley, the kissing. Everybody.
They kissed me.
Oh,
She's just being polite. You have to kiss back.
One, you have to kiss back. No, you don't actually.
Unless it's Mikey.
Yeah. No, I love Mikey. I love Mikey, but I can't love Mikey.
I have one question. I read somewhere, and I don't know that this you can confirm or deny, but that your ex actually had a baby the night this show premiered.
Oh, was it that night? I don't know the night,
That's
but
a sketchy. That's like a sketch timeline.
They
That's
planned.
like
They
very
planned
hurtful.
it. No, I'm just kidding. No.
That's-
I don't know that it was the same date, but what
was that
what
part
I-
of-
Anything in that general vicinity would make me very angry. And then I would have to go on a show like this and probably have sex with everybody. The guys making those little drinks at the bar.
so
I'd
has
sleep
this
with
been a
Chris
tough
again.
time for you? Is that part of the motivation to come and start anew and erase the slate and find the new Tinley?
Great question. You know, when the opportunity came up, I was very single, and I was thinking, and I was already, my heart was healed and ready to move forward, and knowing that he was having a baby, and I got to meet the mom of the baby, and
Awkward.
she's wonderful. She really is.
It's still awkward.
It could
And
have
she's right here.
but yeah, and welcome. No, and it could have been awkward, but it wasn't because
Will you
she
babysit
really.
for them?
I probably will actually not.
Okay.
By the way, for those in Bachelor Nation that don't know, we're talking about Kipton, who she had met on the original Bachelor pad, what, 3-4 years ago? 5 years ago. I hate to date us that much.
But well, that's
Right.
like the time span of my relationship and the time, and now I was single and able to come into Paradise, and there was no motivation.
You
You're
seemed
playing the
over it in
game-
Paradise.
Well,
She's
no,
playing
so
the game
that-
the best, right?
Oh,
Because
I'm not playing a game.
not a
She's
game. You're
open.
following. You're opening your
open to
heart. to the
Thank
best.
you. And
Yes.
I really finally so this I did hang on to that relationship. You've
Right,
known me
of course.
for and you've known us, and I hung on to that relationship for a long time. It was something very special to me, and it
Yes.
definitely defined and there were a lot of pieces of me that
Well, I never want any of my
developed, I
exes to move
guess,
on
you know?
ever,
Yeah.
no matter what.
I feel
So-
like whenever we get to your story on Bachelor in Paradise, it's almost like your version of The Bachelorette because all these guys are coming at you.
This week was something
Yes.
like that, and it was I would that would be the hardest thing to do is be
Right.
the Bachelorette. But there was no motivation in coming on the show in the sense of like I'm gonna get back at him. In no way. The opportunity came, and I was ready to move forward. And it actually happened that on the day that we walked into Paradise, I had been single for a complete year, like a full year, and it was just a perfect day to start a brand new chapter and to
You're a better
explore.
person than I am. I mean,
but they have you have kids, right? Or
I have a son.
yeah,
yes.
you have a son. So
But I
like,
still don't want my exes to ever find happiness.
right,
ever.
okay. Well, you kind of have that a little. I get that, but at the
See,
same
this is why
time,
all
there's
the guys love her
but
because
there's a
she's
baby
nice.
that's in this
Yes.
world now, and
Yes.
he's and that's a little life, and they're doing their life, and now it's my turn to do mine.
Well,
and
you're doing your life
doing
just
yours.
fine.
I
All
have
right,
a
so I want to bring the fans back into this.
I have a question.
Quick viewer
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
Yes. Treat Lauren wants to know, what do you think you have the most difficult time with when it comes to dating? What are your biggest dating hang-ups?
Great question, Jenny.
That's. Can you help me with this? Biggest dating hangups, you know.
You like guys with shoulder tattoos. We know
Love
that.
tattoos.
No, that is the funniest thing. I've never dated a guy with a tattoo ever. This year has changed some things. This is a new season of my life with some tattoos. But no, my biggest dating hangups is guys, I just want somebody to be real and honest and transparent. And for me, like, my faith is really important. So being able to connect on that level is huge.
Well, we really are going to talk about these guys and really have to talk about these tattoos.
Really?
None of them good. Coming up, we want to know what you think Tinley should do, who she should have given a rose to. Plus, Jonathan is here. Obviously, he's going to talk about his confrontation with Joe. All that's coming up after Paradise.
I've never in my life been in a love triangle, and seems to have found me in paradise.
Did you pick a date?
Yep.
Who'd you pick?
Tinley.
Congrats, man.
I'm excited. I'm probably the most confused girl here right now.
Do you want to go on like a real one-on-one?
I don't even know what's happening right now. All of a sudden, JJ and I have an awesome emotional connection, and I just love talking to him, and I look for him during the day. With Joshua, I feel like there's definitely a connection, chemistry, but all of a sudden, Michael G has walked into paradise, and my face lit up and went like this.
So many tattoos, so little Tinley. Welcome back. That was a look at how Tinley found herself in the middle of 3 different relationships at once, with so many men vying for her rose. We want to know who you at home think was her best match. So get on your devices and let us know what you think. Who should Tinley have picked? JJ, Joshua, or Michael G?
I have a quick question for you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
In the mariachi scene, was Ian there from Caitlin season? Was he singing there?
Why?
I just wanted to make sure. I thought he did such a great job last season.
He was on his knees. So, okay.
Well, I think it's never a good idea to go for a theater major ever, speaking from experience. It's just not a good idea.
Your husband's a theater major.
No, my husband got famous before he went to college, but no, maybe I think maybe JJ. He's starting to grow on me. Yeah. He's starting to. I'm telling you, there's something endearing about him.
There's something very endearing.
Right? I like JJ, but not for Tinley.
Oh,
I feel like Michael is more sweet and soft. Josh, I don't know. He should be like popping Molly with Molly Cyrus. I don't know, you know?
Right. I feel like Michael did kind of come in and sweep you off your feet.
But then you got swept off your feet.
Yeah, why was Michael so tan? Instantly tan. He was there for
Miami.
like 1 day.
He's from Miami, right?
No, but he like burnt immediately.
Oh, yeah, he did, and it was really hot. But Michael.
By the way, we're locked. 72% say it was Michael G. Y'all did have that chemistry.
Michael is wonderful, but you know, I think that because I had a date with somebody else first, and it was more my lifestyle, because I live in a beach town. I go out with friends.
Welder just makes sense for you.
It wasn't even the Welder. I guess it wasn't even the theater major. I don't know. I don't know what it was except for the chemistry that I was just so excited about. Like the first guy that walked in that caught my eye, like, or that I started looking, and then Joshua walked in, and I was so ready to get to be excited about something, and I mean those big hands.
If you did love the big hands, it made you very curious.
They were like massive.
You know what they say? Big hands.
Big gloves.
Disappointed. Okay, so. Let's talk about, I mean, because if the tattoos weren't enough, let's talk about the top pony, Mikey.
Oh, the
Mikey
mun.
T.
It's the mun. I helped out with that a few times. The mun. The man bun.
What was the man? It's
really,
not a bun, it's a top pony.
He top knot. He really loved it.
He looks like
Why, Tinley?
Well, I don't know why he loved it, but maybe it's because he got to take a break from all the hair products that he uses. I don't know. I love that guy. Don't you just want to just hug him?
Nobody does.
No one wants to hug him.
I think you should. I love Mikey, but apparently none of you women like him.
It's so funny because last night watching the show, and I was like watching the sunset with him, and I was like, it'd be nice to watch this with somebody a little bit more romantically. And he's my Mikey, though. He's a big teddy bear, and I just adore that.
Yeah. Paul, what is the disconnect? Mikey is like Tinley. Look, everybody will say publicly, oh, I love him, I love him. No one will touch him.
I
touch it.
You will not.
Mikey is a little
Liar.
I feel like Mikey's a little bit, though, hearing impaired. Like, Mikey, she doesn't like you. He's like,
Yeah,
all right,
Mikey
so you're saying there's a
doesn't
chance. There's a little bit of a chance.
We
then.
did
Yeah,
go
yeah.
over that.
Mikey's
a few
like
times.
the guy I dated in college who like still thinks we're just on a break.
Yeah, his
He
kisses-
doesn't
And
compute.
he thinks his kisses are like magic potion. He's like, I'm not into you, Mike. He's like, let me give you a kiss. Like, no.
The moment with Claire was bad enough. The moment with Julia, at the end, they have this conversation, and he's like, "All right, let's make out." And she gives him the Heisman.
Yeah.
What's so weird is like actually when I met Julia in Paradise and knew I've known Mikey, like I thought that they would be cute. So when I saw him going in for a kiss, I don't think I knew about that. And so when I was like, why didn't she do it? But
Okay, before we let you go, I have to talk about how old you are.
I'm not even old.
So, obviously, I'm talking about last week where Ashley High says you're old, your eggs are dried up. And
She said that about me?
Yeah.
Well, I have very fresh and fertile eggs. I mean, they're cage-free, gluten-free. Like, I'm ready to go.
Farm raised, ready to go.
Farm raised, somebody
That
come
was
at
pretty
me.
funny when she called you the old lady.
But was she really calling me an old lady?
Yes.
I wasn't even the
She
oldest
named you.
I wasn't even the oldest person there.
Oh, so
I
you're
am.
calling somebody else old now.
Who's the oldest? Well, I'm the oldest.
There were guys, there were other girls that were my age. There were like, yeah.
Claire's right up there, too. Y'all are all washed up. And you're in your- Tinley, you're in your 30s. It was a good run, but it's over.
I'm tapping out, Chris. I'm tapping out. Yeah, you won't
How
see
old
me
are you,
next
by
week.
the way?
I'm 31.
Good, nice.
I just
Oh,
turned
my
30.
God.
I just turned 31.
Wow.
You're like,
Paul and I have concert T-shirts older than you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Well,
I wear them.
I'm glad that you've had such a great time in Paradise, and I can't wait to see how things go for you from here.
I think because I'm old and I'm tapping out, I might be just leaving.
Straight to the old folks' home.
Yep.
All right, coming up right after the break, Jonathan's going to join us live on this stage. You can tweet us your questions for Jonathan at Batch Paradise. We'll be right back. Welcome back to After Paradise. Our thanks to Tinley for joining us tonight and replacing her on the couch now. Jonathan's in the house. All right, let's dive right into this.
Let's do it.
Because Joe was someone that you actually considered a friend when you came into Paradise. But man, did he do a number on you. Before I get your opinion, let's take a look at what I'm talking about.
Made Mikey T my bitch. Jonathan came to me like I was his pimp, you know? I mean, I do what I do. But at the end of the day, Jonathan talked to Julia, and with him doing that, that really cleared up my situation with Mikey T because they pretty much said the same exact thing. If I don't get a rose tonight, I would honestly believe that I truly missed out on an opportunity to meet Samantha. Jonathan, it's Joe.
dude, come here.
It's okay, man. It's all right, dude. Look. But it's not me, man. I don't know what's going on here. It's okay. Look, you made it right, man. Dude, you're good in my book, man. You made it right. I'm sorry, dude. No, dude, don't say sorry no more to me. You're still one of my good friends. Don't worry about it.
All right. Where do we start with that, man? What's it like watching that back?
It's pretty horrible because I definitely did consider him a friend. But the fact that he kind of manipulated me into believing that he was really there for Julia is the thing that kind of hurt me the most because I told her the truth and then he kind of came in and like held our friendship over my head and basically made it seem like I was being a bad friend to him and that, you know, he was really here for Julia. And it kind of hurts more than anything that I had the opportunity to protect her and that I didn't, and I kind of let him slide in and start lying to her.
And it seemed the extent of the manipulation, because it wasn't enough that he made you change your opinion.
Right.
He essentially, like, you know, I'm a dad. It's something I would have done with my kids. He made you go to Julia and basically apologize publicly. Then it could have been over there. He took it a step further and he followed you and then brought your son into it.
I mean, he came in there, and that was the thing, you know, he was like, oh, you're such a great guy for, you know, like standing up and, you know, doing what's right in this situation. But yeah, it kind of really pissed me off when he brought my son into it, because he didn't need to bring my son into it.
I mean, I'm a dad too. I can't imagine, like, that's somewhere
it's
you
like,
don't.
You can dig on me all you want,
Right.
but once you bring my family into it and my son, that really pissed me off.
So what's the difference, you know, trying to figure out why he was able to play Mikey T, why he was able to play you. When you saw what was happening, you could see what was happening to Julia. How was he able to manipulate you back?
I mean, I think it was just the fact that he came to me and said that what I told her was essentially wrong, and that he was kind of here for her, and he wanted to, you know, see if a relationship could happen, whether or not he was waiting for Samantha or not. He said he was into Julia. So I kind of took that, you know, being his friend, and said, you know what, maybe I jumped the gun a little bit, and I, you know, stepped on his toes, and I didn't want to do that. So it was a tough situation having two people I feel like I cared for, one Julia and then Joe, and it's really unfortunate that he would do that.
Paul, what did you think of it?
I would be so furious right now, because he did like this Jedi mind trick on you.
I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, because you're such a good guy, and he just manipulated your feelings, and then he like kind of embarrassed you to make you like tell her.
Exactly.
And then it was like, now come and hug me.
Right, and then and that was really.
But
tough.
also beyond all that, then there was the touchdown dance.
Yeah.
You know, in the interview, talking about the way he played you guys.
Yeah, and he's like, look, now they're my little bitches, or whatever he was saying, and it's really tough to see him say that and know that the friendship that I thought we had was never there. It was just something that he kind of like, you know, was falsifying the whole time.
But I have to say, because, you know, I watched the week before, and you came off like a little slightly douchey when you're telling people that, like, you know, you've had two sisters before and all this stuff.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I'm telling you, this guy, Joe, did you the biggest favor, because
Yeah,
now
he helped me out
I'm
a
in
lot.
love with you. I
Yeah.
think that you're the sweetest guy.
Thank you.
I thought that you came off so great in this episode.
I appreciate it.
loved how genuine you were. And I mean, it's rare
And
that
that's the
somebody
way I
comes
really
and
am,
just like
even though-
owns their stuff
So,
like that.
having seen it all now, heard it all back, and thought about this, what would you say to Joe now?
You know what? What I would say to Joe is, like, don't call me, don't text me. I've already changed your number in my phone to do not answer. And I think that, you know, if you really want to learn how to treat a female, give me a call, and I'll maybe help you out a little bit. As well as, don't ever bring up my son in a conversation ever again, because I know you talked about smashing my brains. We'll have to entertain that if that's the case.
I say.
All right, Jonathan, I appreciate you being out here. Thank you. Thanks for being so open and honest with us. I know it was tough, and it's tougher to watch, and this feud is far from over. Up next, one of the quirkiest bachelorettes in Bachelor history who's going to join us. That's right, Ashley S. is finally here. We'll be right back. Welcome back to After Paradise. We are live here in Los Angeles right now with Ashley S. on the couch. All right, so I don't know if you just heard that exchange with Jonathan, but we were talking about Joe, and you were actually one of the people that saw right through him first, and we're trying to warn everybody. What was it about him? What did you think of that whole situation?
I mean, honestly, when Joe arrived, he just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I swear, did they put a bird behind you on purpose? I swear.
It's one of the parrots from
Yeah,
Paradise.
exactly. I mean, honestly, like, the conversation I shared with him was just, it was rude, his interaction. And so I didn't see him for who he was, I don't think. And then when Julia had a great date with him, I just tried to be a good friend and support her, and I just still didn't really like him, and that was my own opinion.
All right, yeah, it was like a train you could just see coming down the tracks at some point. All right, I want to get Bachelor Nation back on the phone call, and who do we have? Caller, you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Jennifer from Chicago.
Hey, Jennifer, what's your question?
So first of all, I'd like to say that we're huge fans.
Thank you.
We actually live tweet The Bachelor every week. We have a Twitter handle. I don't think I can say it because there's a curse word in the name.
Let's not. What's your question?
We're big fans of Ashley S., and we were wondering why you haven't been so crazy this season.
Is that a question? Why I haven't been crazy? I don't know.
I think Ashley is crazy. I think Ashley's like Yoda. Like, you may not understand what she's saying in the moment, but it has long-term effects. Like, you know, like you were the most perceptive in the house. You figured out Joe way before everybody else did.
Yeah.
You got the foresight.
Do you know who Yoda is?
No.
Obviously, the fans can't get enough of Ashley S. Let's take a look back at some of your most magical moments.
Did you guys grow these plants just for me? Is that somebody new? Oh, it's Ashley S.
The onion girl?
I think so. That, to me, is an onion. If it's a pomegranate, then God bless it. It is. Wow. Then it's like onion
Out there,
Ashley.
yeah. Mesa Verde or whatever you're
Yes,
talking about.
yes. This looks like Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde. The Mesa Verde.
I have never met anyone quite like Ashley my entire life.
Ta tee ta tee ta tee ta 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 tee ta tee ta tee ta ta. Hi, kitties. Hi, baby. What are you really doing? You working in the FBI? Like working undercover?
It's always the crazy ones.
I would know.
You gotta love her. All right, time again for another fan vote. We want to know, is Ashley S. crazy? Or as Paul would say, is she crazy like a fox? What do you think?
Oh, I think she might be crazy. I think maybe crazy.
You're not going with the Yoda angle that centuries from now we will realize she's the greatest scholar of our time?
I'm gonna go with just crazy. I love you.
Oh, that's okay. I've never
I'm
met
crazy
you.
too, but I think crazy.
Paul?
Well, you see what I think. I think you are grounded. I think you're there. And she may just communicate in a way that people don't understand. Like Steve Jobs was way ahead of his time. I think you are as well. We just can't see where you're going in the moment.
Well, 72%, once again, you speak for the nation.
That's right,
Crazy
Bachelor
like
Nation.
a fox.
Thank you for adopting me.
And Ashley S., you know me. I love you. I won't do TV without you anymore.
I want to watch a 9-hour
I will not do any
with
show
you.
unless Ashley S. is there. Do we have a fan question?
We do. This is from Katie M8876, and it's for Ashley. Not you, Paul, sorry. She says, I love parrots and pomegranates as well. What other animals and fruits do you find interesting?
Or animals that you hate?
You know, honestly, whenever I'm around animals, I like to embrace my surroundings. So I'm just a lover of nature and people and
How about the fruit
fruit.
question?
I like fruit.
Mangoes, yay or nay?
I like mango. The only fruit I don't really like is papaya.
You heard it.
Sorry.
Well, on Facebook, I have more of a statement. Samantha M says, ooh, Samantha M, my sister, this might be my sister. She says, I love when you said, I can't tell if he makes me feel like a woman or like a child, but I love it. Wonderful thing to say. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's whenever you're developing a relationship in the beginning stages, you know, it's kind of great to feel excited and like feel like a child kind of because it's like going back to childhood when you have your first crush, you know, and then you can also have mature conversations and like understand where they're coming from. So
Another caller on the line with a question. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, this is Jessica from Connecticut.
Hey, Jessica, welcome to After Paradise. What's your question?
Thank you. I just wanted to ask Ashley and let her know that I think she's hilarious and it's great to see your relationship going well with Dan. I would like to know if you were happy to see Lauren go.
She was pretty disruptive, right? I mean, she was a bit of a cancer with everybody.
Wow, Chris laying it down.
No, she
hard.
was. I mean, she
it's
kind
like
of...
a slow creeper. Yeah.
Yeah, she heard Ashley's, you know, I don't know, just the whole vibe there changed after she left.
I was glad to see Lauren go, yes. Not because I don't like her or don't appreciate like where she's coming from, but I think she didn't really understand what the Bachelor show like is really about.
Yeah, it's like she went to war, but everyone else has been to boot camp. Like,
Right.
you can't just throw somebody
And I think,
into
and
that.
honestly, that's a great point. I think, as far as being fair, there's a reason we bring in you know, the all-stars in our cast because she really was an outsider, and it was just like oil and water. It just didn't mix. All right, coming up, we got an exclusive look at next week's drama. But first, we've seen a lot of crazy things happen in Paradise, but this footage we recovered from one of our night vision cameras might haunt you for the rest of your life. Check out what we call paranormal ashtivity. We'll be right back. Welcome back to After Paradise. All right, we have a few minutes left. Tonight's show ended, of course, on Claire walking out of the rose ceremony in a cliffhanger.
I need minutes. Sorry, Chris.
If she leaves now, that's just a bitch move. I'm sorry.
This is amazing. Claire is losing her mind. I don't feel right being here.
A dramatic cliffhanger. All right, so for our final poll question of the night, we want to know, what do you think Claire does next? Leaves Paradise, gives out her rose, or consults a raccoon? All very viable options. Paul?
Look, that raccoon is a great listener, like I said, and I feel like he'll probably have some very good advice. That or the crab, I don't know.
And Ashley, you know, so I can't ask you. Jenny, what do you think?
Well, this is what I want to happen. I want her to leave, and then I want her to, like, come back in the next episode, kind of like Kenny from South Park. Like, every episode, I want it to keep happening over and over again.
So she just gets off every episode. I like that.
Yes, so she's like banished, and then she comes back.
No
maybe
one's
out of the
gonna give her a
ocean.
rose. Who would give her a rose?
Well, the women are in charge right now, so it's her rose to give
right,
out. That's the odd thing, but it's locked. By the way, 50% says she does come back and give out a rose, so I guess they feel it's kind of a bit of a stunt. There you go.
All right.
All right. More drama coming up next week. I'm going to give you an exclusive look at some more Joe-related, well, manipulation and drama unfolding in next week's episode of Bachelor in Paradise.
I think what makes everyone so mad about the Joe situation is that Julia is like the sweetest freaking human in the whole world, and all she wanted to do was like find a husband and find a dad for her daughter.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Mommy. And now Julia could end up going home with nothing. Like, what a freaking slap in the face. It just sucks for her.
Mommy wants to hug you, baby. Mommy is missing you like crazy.
Why are you doing that?
Mommy loves you so much, and I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
Wait, who is that?
In the pool with Joe?
Who is that?
That's Samantha, yeah. So you probably didn't know her because she got little to no airtime on Chris's season of The Bachelor. They just didn't have a connection at all or any chemistry, so she really didn't speak. And now we've brought her back to Paradise for a shot at love, and that's who Joe's been waiting for, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now she's just like wreaking havoc
That's
on
it.
Paradise. Got it.
Ashley, what are your thoughts on Samantha coming into town?
Oh, wow. I can't even say anything because I'll give away what happens. But that was shocking to me. I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
Not like that. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap things up tonight, I want to thank everybody for being here. Ashley, it's been great to have you here on the couch. Jenny, but before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Burning Love, something that you were a part of.
Yes.
Eric Oyama, Ken Marino, Ben Stiller, this great parody of The Bachelor we thought was hysterical, and you were one of the actors in it.
It was my pleasure to be in it, and you guys put on such a great show. A pleasure to visit you guys in Bachelor Nation. I mean, this is a dream of dreams.
Anytime you get Jennifer Aniston in a panda suit, that's great.
That's a win.
Amazing, yeah. Come on.
Which, in my mind, she's in Bora Bora right now on her honeymoon with Justin in the panda suit.
She kept it.
Right?
She said, I have to keep this.
It really was a good spin on the show. And again, thanks to our studio audience for being here in Los Angeles tonight. Ashley, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend. We'll do it again next week. Be sure to check out Paul's new show, Crash Test. It's on Vimeo August 18th. And, of course, Fresh Off the Boat returns September 22nd right here on ABC. Bachelor in Paradise airs Sunday and Monday night at 8 p.m. And then, of course, we're back here live next Monday at 9. For everyone who's been a part of this one, thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.